In the middle of the Maima, V'nei Porach Mateh Aharon, Tavshin Lamed Gimel, and we're in the middle of Ois Zayin. So here we're explaining that there's a difference in the Hamshachos Achayis if it's when it's with a Rotzen and a Tainuk. We had the mashal by a person that to go from understanding something and realizing that something's got to, you make up your mind to do something, from that doing in Seichel through the doing in Machshava to Dibur to Maisa is a whole process, and there's two steps of holdback. One is it doesn't go automatically from one level to the next, and the second is that you might decide when you revisit it not to do it, but that's all if it's a rotzen that you want to do something al pi seichel. But if you're excited about something, you have a tremendous will to want to accomplish something. Yeah, there's a vision. There's a meaningfulness, a purposefulness in what you want to do, and you're excited about it. And then everything flows extremely quickly. You don't have these barriers. It goes straight away from your understanding of you're wanting to do it. Your mind gets it, yeah, for sure, that makes sense. I got to get this done. And from then, and it flows automatically from level to level. And until it gets done quickly. So we're holding in the middle of Ois sign, over the page, a few lines down from the top, where we said that right away, as soon as you have second line from the top of the page in the middle, when it comes into your rotzen that you want this thing, and you want it, and it's extremely powerful. It's a force, an internal force. Right away, your desire for wanting it, then it makes sense to you. It makes sense that you should want to do this thing. It's not based on seichel. It's based on, I really need this, I really want this. And so the language is, this makes sense to me. Can you explain it? For sure it makes sense because it's so important. Why is it important? Because that flows out from the inner being of a person. And from your understanding, it comes right into your action plan, machshava, to think about it, to do it, or machshava ledibur, or medibur lemaisa. And from doing it, so there's a fast flow. And all of this comes quickly without anything holding it back. Because you're, in a way, impelled to do it because it's flowing from inside the inner meaningfulness from the person. And there's two inyanim. That after you made up in your mind the general inyan, ain't it sorry it's for lodin imroi lashiv l'daber velasis. Once you made it up that this makes sense, that this is an important thing, then you don't have to revisit if you should think about it, to make an action plan, to speak about it, or to do it. You don't revisit it because it's so clear that it's got to get done. You say to Mizu, and even more, Shekolam Shochas Eila, all these Hamshachos, this drawing down of the Inyan, Na'aseichel, L'machshava, or Machshava, L'dibu, Medibu, L'maisa, from your understanding to the thinking about it, and the thinking about it to the speaking, and the thinking to the doing, Hein B'yofen, the B'derech Mamela. It happens automatically. Because of the tremendous will that you have for it. It just I'm drawn towards it. This is my nefesh is drawn into it. It's so important, and the pleasure you have from this inyan is lo yishkut for lo yanuch. He won't rest and he won't stop until until it's accomplished. Is just this drive that he has to get it done. That's all in Nefesh Adam. So you see that someone's impassioned to do something, it doesn't stop until he gets it done and pulled through. And so this is This is in Nefesh Adam. So similarly, you have a process like this, Lamaila also. It's not the usual way a person works. The person is usually calmer. But if they're excited about something and impassioned about it, it's got to get done. The next paragraph. So too it is with the Nim Shulamaila, how things are above in the spiritual worlds. The Kishashayrish Hamshacha, who mebchinas Rav Chesed, Shalamayl Mishtalshalas, then when the beginning of the Hamshacha to coming down is from level called Rav Chesed. It's higher than Ishtalshalas. It's higher than all the worlds. You have the world of Atzilus, where you have the Esespheres, Chochmah, Bina, Das, Chesed, Gvur, Tiferes, Netzach, Hod, Yesod, Malchus, the 10 spheres of Atzilus. So we learned earlier that Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur, there's Amshach of Chesed of Atzilus into Malchus of Atzilus. It's already in the Seder. But when you're able to bring down from what's called Rav Chesed, that's called from the Dag of Keser. Keser is the Rotzon of Hashem, which is higher than the structural worlds of Atzilus and below. It comes from a level which is Bligvul, without limit. That's called Rav Chesed. It doesn't mean just there's a lot of Chesed. It's from a Darga that's higher than the regular structure of Chesed, matching in the person his Rotzon, when you have a drive for it. So it comes from in other words, that Hashem's infiniteness is poised for revelation, is giving over in a war of Chesed. And in general terms, it's the Yud Gimel Midas Rachamim, and you have from there, in that level, that's where forgiveness comes from. Overlooks all the mess-ups that there are in Seder Shalshus if something doesn't come down. Rav Chesed. And then, so if it's coming from there, it's a little bit like a spiritual bypass. It doesn't flow through the regular system. It comes with this tremendous drive and bringing down into the whole Seder Shalshus. It's an Azai, in the second line, second word. Azai, Nimshechas Hashpola Mata, then the flow of godly flow of energy and stuff comes down below. Al Yedei Hadargus, the whole Seder Shalshus, through all the levels of Seder Shalshus, B'mehiras Gedolah B'liyakuvim, all the way down, without anything holding it back. So that's the so how do you get into that level? The noise of Lazed Hamshachazu ein dinim she akfu the Hamshachas Memedregel Medrega. In addition, that from this level in this process, when this the drawing down, there's no dinim, there's no judgment that should hold back what's the flow from level to level. In a gam Hamshachas asmam heim be'oivim b'derech b'meila. It also comes automatically. There's nothing to hold it back, and it flows automatically from one level to the next. So this is a second way. How does this come down? This is the broch of the Kahanim. The brichus Kahanim, he b'mehiris. And that's the broch when the Kahanim give, things come down in a quick way. Ki hamshachos, the brichus Kahanim, ulamayil mishtalshlos. Because the level that the Kehanim reach into to give their bracha comes from higher than the whole chain of worlds, higher than the Shtalshlos. K'mavu b'makamacher, shebabirchus Kehanim, yishgam came hamayla de tefillah, shalidei tefillah, nimshach rotzon kodesh shalamayl mishtalshlos. Because the bracha of the Kehanim has also the advantage, the plus of davening. And the Eden of davening brings out a new rotzon from Hashem, which is higher than Shtalshlos. And therefore, as it flows down, it also comes very quickly. When we say this, what a bracha and davening, what are these two things? The difference between a bracha and davening is, when we say, "I'll give you a bracha," there's many times parents give brachas to the children. There's a minig to bench your children every Friday night. It's a beautiful minig that the parents bless their children Friday night. Or so what's that mean? In the regular person, when you do that, It's you wish them well. You say good words and you wish them well. Are you giving something? It's in the regular person. You're not in the position to give over what you want them to have. By a real bracha, by a tzaddik, he's in a position where he's actually helping bring down to them stuff. Like we learned earlier with the story from the Baal Shem Tov, he was able to switch the hashpah from money to children. So his bracha was taking, so to speak, something which is there in a spiritual world, and bringing it down and giving it to you in our world. So the bracha comes from the word in the Gemara, when you marviches a geffen, a vine would be growing, you take the top of the vine and you bend it down, you take the head of it, put it back into the ground. You bring it down from a higher to a lower spot. Actually taking something and bringing it down lower. That's the word bracha. So in a spiritual sense, when a bracha is taking something from a higher level where it exists in a deeper plane and bringing it down to a lower plane, that's bracha. So the thing exists already on its level. It's already has its place. Davening now, a lot of times we say in davening, Yehi Ratzon Milfanecha. It should be your will, Hashem. What do you mean it should be your will, Hashem? That obviously something is happening that up till now it's not your will. If somebody is sick, so right now the Ratzon of Hashem is that the person should be sick, or if they're lacking in parnasa or in children. So right now, as things stand, before the davening, that's Hashem's will. We say to Hashem, Yiratzon Milfanecha, it should be Yiratzon to make a change. In other words, you want to bring out a different flow of energy, of Ratzon. So davening, and when you daven for Rifa'enu and Baruch Aleinu, there should be a healing in Gashmiz, or a person should have the Panasa in Gashmiz. Till now he didn't, now you want to change. That's a whole different process. The bracha of the Kahanim is a blend of both.